Okay guys, so today what we're gonna do is start working on a body. We're gonna do like a little, maybe a tutorial. For some of you, may not be, but I'm just gonna put something on here on some of the things I've learned on doing bodies over the years. The number one thing on doing any body, this particular one's gonna be going on a drift car, on my son's drift car. But the number one thing you really wanna do is prep work and take your time. Those two things just cannot be, expressed enough. And the taking your time is the most important thing. If you're not sure, just go slow and take your time. I see a lot of people like try to rush these things, and it usually looks like a body has been rushed. You don't get clean edges, you don't get a good paint job. So we're gonna cover some of the steps as we go. This particular body is kind of funny. He's had this body now for about a year. MST body, and it's the Toyota Soarer. The funny thing with this is his car, he's actually got a Lexus SC400. So this is the closest thing we can get to it. And it's a pretty cool body. So there's a lot of stuff in here, but he's had this for quite a while. He was gonna put it on. We started off doing some all-wheel drive drifting, and we thought it was a ton of fun. And then we got into the two-wheel drive drifting and realized what we were missing, and there's no looking back now. Excuse me. But so we're gonna start with this thing. I'm gonna open it up. We're gonna take a look at what's inside, go over a couple things here. Let's get this opened up. You can kind of see here. That's just what they kind of put on here. A lot of bodies will give you the specs on here, your wheelbase, your width. And a lot of times, a lot of this stuff can be customized. You can raise or lower the body, you can add width, different tires, different offsets, a lot of that stuff, which is, whether it's this, an off-road, a crawler, whatever the case may be. The other thing a lot of times I'll do is I'll keep these bags. I won't throw it away right away because, again, I take my time, and many times while I hit a point where I just want to stop and to keep the body from anything happening, I stick it back in here. That way you're good to go. So you can see you get the body. This particular one looks like it comes with some different front end, different rear end options. So we can put lights on or do something along those lines. So I might look at that. We'll take a look and see what that entails. Maybe we'll do a light kit on it for him without him knowing about it. So actually, let's see what, looks like there might be some other goodies in here. Let's see what's in here. I've never done one of these MST bodies. Majority of bodies I've done have been Pro Line, which are excellent bodies. Yeah, he's gonna have little Ganador looking mirrors on there and a little duckbill. That's kind of cool. Add a little extra. Pretty cool. So that's that. And then we're gonna get to these decals. So this is the part on a lot of cars. Some models or some brands out there are not very good. In my opinion. Again, all this is my opinion on stuff. I don't want to call out anybody and say anything, so I don't want anybody getting mad at me. But what we got here, this particular one looks like we got several different options for the decal kit, which is pretty cool. Standard front end, it looks like they have it set up then too if you're going to do the light stuff. And then this actually is nice. Not all bodies do this. It'll actually show you the breakdown of where everything's going to go, your different decals. Some of them just show you a couple pictures, but sometimes the pictures aren't very good, and you gotta and you can wing it. Basically, that's the biggest thing, is you got to remember, if you're doing this body, it's your body. It's going to be done how you want it, and it's got to look how you want it. You don't have to follow the picture. You don't have to paint this red. Where I'm at, sometimes people come in and they think they have to get the red. They have to do it with white wheels. No, you do whatever you want to do. That's where you can show your personality and let it shine. So it's pretty straightforward here. It's actually pretty cool. And you can see here is where they're showing the different headlight buckets, tail buckets, in order to put that stuff on. And then this is gonna be your masking. This always goes on the inside of your bodies. So this is gonna go inside here and mask off. So basically once you get everything painted, whatever color you're gonna paint it, everything is dry and you're done. When you peel this back off, you're gonna have clear side windows, clear windshield. Then some of these decals they put on here are like these. I don't know if I can peel this up a little bit, but they're kind of see-through. On here, it looks like it's gonna be pretty opaque, but they will be see-through, which is pretty nice. That way, it gives you the tinted window sort of look. And on this one, I might kind of alter it a little bit because he kind of wanted clear windows. I'm not sure how exactly I'm going to do this, but I might trim the center parts out. That way I can still use all the window trims and give it a real good look. We'll see. I might experiment with that a little bit and talk to him a little bit and see what he wants to do, because this is definitely his baby. He's given me some color options already. I was going to try to paint it like his real one, but he said he didn't want to do that. He wants to make this one look all hot boy drifty. So look to it, which is cool. Not what I would do if I had the real one, but it's not gonna be my car. I'm just gonna do that here. The other thing is, a lot of these bodies, there are one or two brands that don't have this. They're gonna have this removable protective film. I see far too often somebody paints them and then they take the decals, these really nice decals, and they put them right over top of this stuff. And then as soon as you roll it or have any damage, this stuff sort of scrapes. You know, like if you go down here and I scrape at this, I don't know if it's gonna do it for me here. You can kind of see how it starts looking. I don't know if the camera is gonna pick this up at all. It looks kind of chewed up. But that's, I'll just do that here because that's an area we're gonna cut out. So basically the only tool you really need is a good scissors. And these particular ones I've had forever. I like the curved body scissors. Again, a couple companies make them. These happen to be the Dynamite ones. I really like them. They've held up well for me. They're even slightly bent here. But with these, when you're cutting, I found it to be best. Again, I'm right-handed, so if you're left-handed, it might be a little different. I've seen some people left-handed have issues with the scissors. I don't do very much left-handed, so I can't really say. But I'm right-handed, so I will start usually on like what would be the passenger side front, and I will work my way around. If you're looking at it, it would be basically counter or clockwise as I'm kind of going around this thing. That way, as I'm going, hopefully you can see here, you have these little lines here that are going up around and along the bottom. That's the line you want to cut out on. You always want to err on the side of caution away from the body, because what you'll do then when you come back later, when you can clean it up, you can take like a Dremel and sand it down and bring it right to that line and get yourself a super precise, really nice line. So a lot of this you're going to cut out. These here, I'm not 100% sure what they're using these for. Sometimes they'll give you an extra panel for something. So it looks like when I cut this wheel out, I'll save this particular wheel well and the other one as well, and I'll set those aside. So we are gonna get cutting here and kind of show you again. This is one of the areas where you just take your time cutting out. One little slip up, you can get up into the body, into the quarter, or into the front fender, bumper. Real hard to hide that. And then if you try to expand the wheel well to try to hide damage, sometimes it looks like you're trying to hide damage, or you cut the wheel wells out too big, and it just doesn't look right. So we're gonna try to do this whole thing beginning to end. This video might get to be a little bit longer, but I just kind of want to show in a little bit of detail here. So we will get cutting here. Again, just take your time and go nice and easy. You're gonna see I take real tiny cuts. On this thing here, if you go too far, it'll do a full curve. And I don't like that. I don't like the way it goes. So I just kind of come in here and I'm gonna do really nice, small cuts. I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of people that may disagree with what I do, and that's fine. You can ask 10 people and probably get 10 different ways of doing this stuff. But I've been doing this for a long time. They work out great. I've had many people want me to do bodies for them. I don't do airbrushing. Unfortunately, I'm not that talented. I have a lot of respect for guys that can do airbrushing. I do spray cans. I can do some okay stuff that way using either paint mask, making my own masking, and stuff like that. And I'll usually just go and take that off. So you can see, if you look close at this, you can see I'm just below the line a little bit. And that's because what's going to happen is, basically when I'm done painting, I'm going to come back and I'm going to hit this with a Dremel and just real nice and slow clean it out. But you can see by going slow and smooth with a little bit, it has a nice clean line already to it. If you do it with a dull scissor, a bad scissor, it just looks like a beaver chewed it out, and it looks horrible. And it's, you know, this is something, if you take your time, it's something you can be proud of. Unless you're making it for like demolition derby and you just want to shell in there and don't really care about it. But most of the time that's not the case. You know, when you're doing these things, you know, everybody wants these things. They want their body, you know, to look better than everybody else's. They want somebody to be jealous of their body. Sometimes in these things, you'll see me keep turning the body a little too. Still let the light hit it a certain way, and you can see the line better. Some people choose to highlight this line. I don't do that. I just like to kind of move it around. You let the light hit it in different angles, and then you can kind of see again where you're at, where we're going. But even on the curved ones, you can see with nice short pieces here, we can get nice straight lines. So I'll do something like this. Looks like our computer just shut off on me. Again, you can see here we got a nice straight line along the bottom. It's not quite perfect, but I'll trim that up again a little bit when I go back with the Dremel. But you can see she's kind of taking shape already. It's easier to see on the level here, I guess. You can kind of see how it's getting there, how much is missing here. All right, I'm just gonna get cutting out the rest of this and maybe do a little time lapse here. Okay, so there you can see, it didn't take long. You know, this is actually a pretty easy one to cut up. This is not a big body. There are some that are gonna be a lot harder. I've done some crawler bodies that can take a lot more. When you get into some larger scale vehicles, they're gonna be a little bit crazier. But when you look, you can see, you know, the ends look pretty clean. Just doing those nice short strokes. You can see how curved this thing is. Hopefully that shows up good. You can kind of see that way, you know, maybe you can see it better that way, but that's it there. So it's all cut. Now the next thing we're gonna do is clean the body. So what I need to do there is we're gonna take it, put a little like mild detergent. I have a spray bottle. I mixed a little bit of Dawn dish detergent, spray that in there, just kind of rub it around quickly. Wash it out, rinse it out real good, and then dry it off. What that's gonna do is, sometimes when they make these start out as a sheet of plastic. It sits over a machine. That machine will have like a mold release agent put on it. Sometimes it can be powdery. There's different ways they use them. But if some of that mold release is left on the body, when you paint it, the paint, you know, may flake off. Now you wanna use a good lexan paint. I use the Tamiya paints. These things work great. And it's for polycarbonate body. You don't want to use model paints. I stress, you do not want to use model paints. You do not want to use automotive car paints. You will get a job that looks fantastic, but as soon as you do this to the body and bend it, it'll spider out. This paint is going to be specially formulated it's going to etch itself into the plastic, and it's going to remain flexible when dry, basically. So when the body bends, you hit something and something like this happens, the paint will stay intact. I have bodies that have been just wailed on and beat on. I'm not kind to my stuff. If you watch some of my videos, you can see that. And my paint doesn't have any issues ever. I start destroying the body before any paint comes off. So we are going to wash this next. And then I are going to do all the masking that needs to be done. I might do a quick test fit. Luckily, I have the exact same car. It's a Yokomo YD2S. I might just set it over to get an idea. I have a different body, so my magnet setup's going to be done a little different, but I'll get his car when I get to that point, because we're not going to drill out holes. We are going to use magnets to mount this, and maybe we can go into that as to a little trick I've learned recently on how to do that. So the next step is going to be washing that. We're just going to end this video here. I didn't realize how long it's actually getting. It's going to be several part video. Just trying to be super informative and detailed with everything, trying not to skip any steps. There's a lot of people who just aren't sure on what to do. So we're going to stop here. We'll pick up the next one. We'll do the washing, and we'll do the masking on the next one, and then we can move into some painting thereafter. So like I said earlier, it's the prep work that is really going to make or break one of these bodies. So all right, guys, we're going to see you in the next video, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to keep seeing the series, and also comment. You know, if you have other ideas that you do it, you know, tell me how you do it. It'd be interesting to see. We can get a discussion going there. Thank you very much, and don't forget to go have some fun. Peace.